Assalamu alaikum class. This is your teacher, lecturer Asif here. I hope you people are having fun. A very warm welcome. Today we will be having our 8th lesson on writing skill, and once again we will be talking about tenses. In our lesson number 7, we talked about indefinite and continuous tenses, and today we will be talking about two other tenses, perfect tenses and perfect continuous tenses, and we will learn these tenses by matrices. So let's go ahead. We know that when we plan to clearly mark that action under discussion is complete, we use perfect tenses. Here, perfect means complete. The time of completion of the action may be divided into three tenses: present, past, or future. For example, if the speaker says that the action of eating an apple is complete now, is complete in present, he can say it using present perfect tense. The boy has eaten an apple. This would be present perfect tense. And if we want to show that there happened two events in the past, and we want to show that one action was complete before the other action took place, we use past perfect for the action which was complete before the other action took place. For example, the boy had eaten an apple before he went to school. Now, the action of eating an apple was complete before the other action take place. So we use past perfect tense to show the action which was complete before the second action took place. The boy had eaten an apple before he went to school. Similarly, if we want to show that an action is expected to be complete before some other action takes place in future, we use future perfect for the action which is expected to be complete before the other action takes place. For example, we have this sentence: the boy will have eaten an apple before he goes to school. Now, the action of eating an apple will be complete before going to the school. And this is taking place in future. So we will use future perfect tense to describe such a situation when an action is expected to be complete before some other action in future. So this is how we use perfect tenses, and let's see, we will learn them by the activity of matrices. We will be filling in these rows where we have written sentence structure and drill. Let's go ahead. Here we have the sentence structure of present perfect tense. We have subject, plus we have two helping verbs, has, have, and then we use the third form of verb, which is also known as participle. As you can see, he has eaten. Eaten is the participial form of eat, the third form of eat. Similarly, if the subject is plural, then we use have. They have eaten. And if we go ahead into the next column, we have past perfect, and the sentence structure of past perfect is subject plus had plus the third form of verb, which is also known as participle. Here we have this sentence: he had eaten before he went to college. As we have just discussed, that in past perfect we have to we have to show that two events happened in the past, but one event was complete before the other event took place, and the action which is complete before is described with past perfect tense had plus the third form of verb, and the action which is complete later, it is translated with past indefinite tense. As we can see, he went to college. Similarly, they had eaten before they went to college. In the past perfect tense, we have just one helping verb, and it is had. And if we go ahead to our third column, future perfect tense, here we have the structure subject plus shall have or will have plus participle, the third form of verb. We have two helping verbs here, shall have and will have. He will have eaten before he goes to college. They will have eaten before they go to college. As we can see, there is a similarity between past perfect tense and future perfect tense. In both of these tenses, we see that two actions take place, but one action is completed before the other. And in future perfect tense, the action which is completed before the other takes place is translated with future perfect tense, will have plus the third form of verb, and the action which is taking place later is translated with present indefinite tense, as you can see, before he goes to college, or in the next sentence, before they go to college. So this is how we build sentences of these perfect tenses. And if we have to make these sentences negative, you will just have to add not after helping verbs. As you can see, subject plus has not or have not plus participle. He has not eaten. They have not eaten. And in the next column, past perfect, subject plus had not plus participle. He had not eaten before he went to college. They had not eaten before they went to college. And the same goes for future perfect tense, but here we will have to be a bit careful. We will add not right after shall, because the proper helping verb is shall and also will. We will not add not after have. We will add not between shall and have, as you can see in the structure. Subject plus shall not have or will not have plus participle, the third form of verb. He will not have eaten before he goes to college. They will not have eaten before they go to college. So this is how we make negative sentences of perfect tenses, and then we move to interrogative sentences. Simply, we will have to move helping verb before subject. As you can see, has, have plus subject plus participle, and then there is a question mark at the end. Has he eaten? Have they eaten? The same goes for past perfect tense. Had plus subject plus participle and a question mark at the end. Had he eaten before he went to college? Had they eaten before they went to college? And question marks are there at the end of these sentences. And then we have the future perfect tense. And here we'll move only shall, because the proper helping verb of future perfect tense is shall or will. So they will be brought before subject. Shall, will, plus subject, plus have, plus participle, and then a question mark. Will he have eaten before he goes to college? Will they have eaten before they go to college? And there are question marks at the end. So this is how we build sentences of perfect tenses. And now we will move to perfect continuous tenses. And let's compare it with simple continuous tenses. When we use simple continuous tenses, we show that the action is incomplete or it is in progress. But simple continuous tenses do not inform us when the action started. We simply say that she is playing tennis. We simply say that they are reading books. But these simple continuous tenses, these do not inform us when the action started. So if we have to describe an action in progress along with its starting time, we use perfect continuous tenses. And we have three perfect continuous tenses: present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense, and future perfect continuous tense. And perfect continuous tenses are also known as perfect progressive tenses. Continuous, this word continuous may be replaced with progressive, because these tenses show an action in progress. An action is in progress, it continues. So this is why we also use this term progressive for these tenses. And we know that we use present perfect continuous tense to show action and situations that started in the past and are continuing right now. For example, we have been traveling since yesterday. We started traveling yesterday and we are still traveling. So the action of traveling, it began in past. It began yesterday, but it continues in the present. So we use present perfect continuous tense to show such an action. And we also use present perfect continuous tense to talk about actions that have just finished, and they have a connection to something in present. They have their implications in present. For example, have you been crying? Your eyes are red. Now, have you been crying? Now, this action of crying has just finished, but we have used present perfect continuous tense to describe it, because this action of crying has a connection to present, because the eyes are red. So we do use present perfect continuous tense to describe actions which have just finished, and they have something to do with the present, to the present. And we use past perfect continuous tense to indicate actions and situations that started in the past and continued to, or ended at a particular point in the past. To indicate actions and situations that started in the past and continued to, or ended at a particular point in the past. For example, Salman had been studying economics before he changed his major to accounting. Now, before he changed his major to accounting, Salman had been studying economics, right? And we use these perfect continuous tenses with for and since to indicate how long something had been going on until a particular point in the past. We use for and since. For example, we had been working in the conference room for about 4 hours when the computer network went down. For 4 hours, right? A period of time. And for point of time, we use since. We will talk about it. And then we move to a future perfect continuous tense, and we use it to show actions and situations that will continue until a particular point in time in future. That will continue actions and situations that will continue until a particular time in future. We use this tense to launch ourselves into the future and look back at the entire duration of the action, a situation. For example, by the time I'm 50 years old, I shall have been working for 32 years. By the time I'm 50 years old, I shall have been working for 32 years old. Right now, you may be 20, but you are imagining yourself to be 50. And then you talk about further things, that when you will be 50, what you might be doing and what you might not be doing. And let's learn to build sentences of perfect continuous tenses by matrices. And we will be filling in these rows where we have written sentence structure and drill. Let's move to our next slide. And here we have the structure of present. We have the structure of present perfect continuous tense. We have subject plus has been, have been. These are the helping verbs. And then we use the base form of verb plus ing. And then we use since or for, and then we add a time phrase or a time clause. For example, we have this sentence, he has been eating since morning. Now, he is the subject, has been is the helping verb, eating is the base plus ing, and since and morning. Morning is the time phrase. And then we have, they have been eating for 2 days, right? If we move to the structure of past perfect continuous tense, we have subject plus had been plus base plus ing plus since for and plus time phrase or clause. He had been eating since morning. They had been eating for 2 days. And the structure of future perfect continuous tense is subject plus will have been, shall have been, plus base, ing, plus since for, and plus time phrase, maybe time clause. He will have been eating since morning. They will have been eating for 2 days. They will have been eating for 2 days. And in the previous sentence, he will have been eating since morning. We have to place this full stop after morning, and you please might make this correction. And then we will move to our negative sentences, and we will be adding not after the helping verbs. We have the helping verb has here, and we will be adding not after has and before been. As you can see, subject plus has not or have not and been plus base plus ing since for time phrase clause. He has not been eating since morning. They have not been eating for 2 days. The same goes for the structure of past perfect continuous tense, subject plus had not been. We have added not right after had and before been. And the rest of the structure goes same. He had not been eating since morning. They had not been eating for 2 days. And then we move to future perfect continuous tense. And here we have the structure subject plus will not, shall not, Not will be added after main helping verb, will or shall, right? And the rest of the structure is same. He will not have been eating since morning. We will add a full stop here. And they will not have been eating for 2 days. We have added not after the main helping verb will and before have been, right? Let's see how we could structure questions in these tenses, interrogative sentences. We have to move the main helping verb has before subject in present perfect continuous tense, and rest of the structure is same, and we will add a question mark at the end. Has, have, plus subject, plus been, plus base form, plus ing, plus since for, plus time phrase clause, and a question mark at the end. Has he been eating since morning? Hey, have they been eating for 2 days? And question marks. And the same goes for past perfect continuous tense. We will bring the helping verb, the main helping verb had before subject, and we will add a question mark at the end. As you can see, had he been eating since morning? Had they been eating for 2 days? And question marks are there at the end. The same goes for future perfect continuous tense. We will move the main helping verbs will and shall before subject, and we will add a question mark at the end, and the rest of the structure, it remains the same. Will he have been eating since morning? Will they have been eating for 2 days? So this is how we build sentences of perfect continuous tenses. You people have been provided with a practice document. You are supposed to fill in the matrices for your drill and for your practice. This is all for today. Thank you so very much. See you in the class.